All right. I guess I could keep the music going while I do a run, a practice run. Um, yeah, I think I'm just gonna jump in and do a practice run of this and maybe a run of Obi-Wan to be prepared for tomorrow. Probably gonna skip Outlaws, but we'll see. This should be a good file. Let's go.
This way. Right behind you.
Gotta start working on my commentary practice.
Sorry, Cal. Don't worry about it.
That was a drop jump, hitting the drop and jump inputs at the same time. And there's a coincidentally a cutscene tied to climbing that ledge. So if we do that tech, the drop jump, we're able to skip that. And cutscenes aren't skippable in this game, so we're going to try to do all the skips and glitches we can to avoid those as much as possible. And that'll really be coming in handy soon for skipping cutscenes, and you'll see why PS5 is the fastest platform.
Easy there. Just passing through.
But the game just sort of introducing us to a lot of the typical mechanics that those third-person action games do. You know, your climbing and your crawl spaces and your slides, balance beams, whatnot.
Good to see you.
Did a little skip there to avoid an animation
That's
of
the idea.
the ledge like partially falling. I don't know if I want to lab out the Gonk droid for console. That would be cool to show off.
Sounds like scrap rats. Creepy. Just passing through, guys. No need to come out and say hi this time.
Do 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 do. Gonna try another drop jump skip here.
Sounds good. Be there soon.
A little bit of a scary section because it's basically a blind skip. But we actually got it first try, not too big of a challenge for us. We're cruising.
Come take a look at that.
And what we're doing now is suspending the game by opening another application. And when we go back, if I do the timing right, usually just doing it immediately works just fine. What happens is the game audio will mute, and then the cutscenes will speed up like 10x speed or higher. Wait a second. I have a couple different timings I go for. Usually, it's not this difficult, but there we go. So this is a hardware specific glitch, only possible on the PS5. It is in a couple of different games that we know of. The main two I know of are Spider-Man Miles Morales and this game. It's also possible in Jedi Survivor, but we can skip cutscenes in that game, so not too big of a deal for us there. But in this case, we can't skip cutscenes, so this is a very useful glitch for unrestricted. Sad downside that we don't get game audio for a little bit, but the run has become so short that it's not too big of a deal, and we don't have to watch too many cutscenes, but it still saves quite a bit of time over the PC version still. This is our buddy Prof. We saved him using the Force, and the probe droid there spotted us and sent a alert to the Empire of a possible Jedi sighting. And Cal knows he's kind of exposed himself a little bit, so he's already on edge a little bit about what he needs to do to try to go into hiding for a little bit. But the Empire is just a couple steps ahead of them, and they're going to intercept this little train. That's kind of where our journey begins. We're just into our adventure from there. This is kind of like a flashback sequence we're going through. The game does this every time we unlock a force ability, kind of reintroduces us to how we were trained as a youngling. And here's our master, Jaro Tapal. So this is kind of unlocking or solidifying our unlocking of the force slow ability, because we kind of just one time used it at the beginning there to save Prof, and now that flashback was solidifying us unlocking that. And that was the one and only flashback we were doing in the game, because we have completely broken open this game and we no longer need any other force abilities to beat the game. And we'll show that off when we get there on the next planet. But the Empire Inquisitors intercepted us and are trying to capture us now. We're going through this train sequence now. It would do a more combat tutorial stuff, but we're going to skip over most of that because of that uh, trick there. We call that a target lock jump, or TLJ. We lock onto an enemy, jump, and then around the peak of a jump, we do another input like block or slow, and that gives us a nice little boosted jump there. There we go. We're going to be using that basically on every train car to speed up the run. Oops. If you're not neutral when you jump, you do this sideways flip in combat. So we're trying to avoid that. Need a standard jump to get that max height. Pretend there's epic music playing. There normally is, but normally much more crazy and intense during this section. I'm gonna try a, ooh, not quite. We'll try that trick again later, but that was going to be what we call a pause buffer clip. But we can still do our drop jump tech here. Oh, didn't quite grab the grate there on the side. We can just try again. Ooh, okay, we can go for a backup here. Nice. We're definitely not supposed to be here. Um, if we went down the normal path, it would have flipped like vertically. We have to do more climbing and watch a cutscene. But by interrupting that, by going around the side, we're able to avoid needing to do that extra climbing and stuff. But sprinting is currently our fastest form of movement, so we're mainly just doing that wherever we can, doing some more TLJs, and then we have one more train car jump here, and we are, oops, Sometimes I miss this jump and I'm not sure what. Just go a little bit too close to the edge and you slide off sometimes. But now we're just going to run off the last one here, and we're skipping another like mini cutscene that would cause us the train to shift down, that we would be sliding on it. But we interrupted that, so it just kind of looks a little bit bugged. And we're going to eventually hit a cutscene, and there we go. I'm going to switch to the hardest difficulty for this fight because it's kind of scripted to make us lose it or go through it so many parries before it ends automatically. So we're just going to go through that. And that is the second sister. She's going to be the main villain throughout the game. More cutscene, fast forward. Crazy. Even with that subpar Baraka intro, we are much faster than PC would be because of these cutscenes. PC doesn't normally really start the next planet until like 19-ish minutes, I believe, because these cutscenes are all minutes, and that we're just speeding right through them. So now we are starting Bogano, and this is the only other planet we are going to travel to before we unlock the final planet. So we're going to do some shenanigans, get some experience and some skills, and then we're going to do a glitch, the main glitch for this run, and I'll explain it kind of as I get there. I did uh, mess up a animation cancel there, but we're just getting some experience right now. We're gonna do another attempt here. So if we just block before we interact with that, we are able to cancel the weird crouching animation he did there to interact with it. He has the force echo ability where he can sense the past of items and reflect on it. And that's kind of how the game gives us some experience. But now we are getting the dash strike ability, which is going to be our new main form of movement. Um, can be chained over and over again. That becomes slightly faster than if we were to sprint. So now that's going to be what we're going to be doing for the most part, especially when we're not in combat. So we have infinite force when we're not in combat. I was going to do a pause buffer clip there, but I scooted a little bit too far forward. But we're going to get our friend, our buddy, BD1, the droid. This is our main companion throughout the game. Gives us our stems for healing and helps us with many other things like opening certain doors and um, chests and zip lines, all sorts of stuff. There we go. So that was the pause buffer clip I was talking about. We do a dash strike. Sometimes you can do it with just sprinting or rolling, but dash strike is usually the main way of getting it consistently. We do a dash strike, we pause during the squat part of the animation, and then we toggle something like motion blur um, or something in the settings. And it gives a little bit of lag and just enough to clip us through all sorts of things. Pretty clean movement up to here. This is the vault of Bogano, where Seer and Grease, our new friends on the ship, told us we needed to go to. They know that we are a Jedi. They saved us from the Empire, and we are getting some information about what this place is. And we learn Eno Cordova here has hidden a Jedi holocron, and the only way to unlock it would be to get an item from that we find out is on Dathomir. And that's how kind of like majority of the run used to be trying to find the fastest way to getting to Dathomir to get the Astrium item to unlock the vault. I'm going to go ahead and close the game and reopen it so we get our game audio back. Because we no longer really need the fast forward glitch. There will be other cutscenes, but we can quit out of them to avoid having to watch them. Because what is Star Wars without sound effects and music? We gotta have that. We'll take the slight time loss of rebooting the game to get that back. Some extra time for donations and whatnot. We'll load right in and spam X to continue. And now we are ready to set up the main glitch of the game. Of why unrestricted is so crazy fast compared to previous runs and routes. I'm going to go for a launch one time here. Maybe twice. Make sure I'm on 60 FPS. Ooh, so close. One more try. This is one of those tricks that's like, if you get it, okay, we almost got it, but didn't quite get the forward movement I wanted for the launch. But basically, picture that going straight that way towards the back to the ship. We need this Ogdo frog alien to chase us. We're going to do a target lock jump off of them to get to the next section and avoid a cutscene that we normally have to watch. We're going to sit down at this mid spot again to update our checkpoint so we can respawn here. But now we need to set up a death warp basically for this glitch to work. And we'll need to respawn back at that midpoint, so that's why we sit down there. We skipped wall run ability, so I had to do a interesting little momentum carry across these ledges. Gonna take an intentional hit there to get our health low. And this should be low enough for... I'm going to do one more void out actually. Yeah, there we go. Need a little bit of extra health so I can have the perfect amount of void out to end death warp. Here we're going to try to put our saber away, but then cancel out of that animation, and it causes the saber to stay ignited on our hit.
What are you doing, kid? Why are you creeping around my
We call this Big Iron.
Hang on.
That's what the glitch hunter that found it decided to call it. Coach Beck, shout out. But what this does is basically we're trying to interact with things on the ship now, and it won't let us interact with things. We can do the prompt, but because Cal's technically in a busy animation with the saber being out, we can't actually interact with the meditation spot or the hollow table. So we're going to interact with both of those things, walk outside the ship, put the saber away, and we're kind of doing a little airwalk back to the last thing we interacted with. Eventually, Cal will start interacting with the hollow table there, and we're going to select a planet. And the ship is going to leave without us, which normally wouldn't be possible. Now we're going to void out a few times. We're going to see that blue orb just barely start to form around the ship, and that means the game is about to deload Bogano and load, go into hyperspace to load in the next planet we selected, which was Zepho. But we're not actually going to go to Zepho because we interrupted that sequence. It's going to put us back here on Bogano. But the game is in a weird state right now where it's like, you interrupted me as I was about to do something, and I don't know what I need to do now. And we kind of fuse the, I don't know exactly what's happening in the background on the code, but I believe it's something to do with the two different types of maps getting fused together.
BD1, over here.
So the ship map that shows the planets, and then there's the personal map that BD1 can show us. Um, those are kind of like fused together, I think. And that causes the planet triggers to be in the air around the ship, and we just need to pass Cal's hitbox through it, which is pretty insane. So I'm going to kind of focus here to get this to work. Let me make sure I didn't hit the load trigger. There we go. That should be perfect, actually. So Cal is right there in the sky. We're slingshotting his hitbox into the sky, and the final planet trigger is above the ship right here. But we have to do it this way because there's a loading trigger for the landing pad, like right around this vine completely. Um, so we're basically getting Cal to pass right through it, and we should be good there. I'm just gonna trust that we hit it and head back to the ship. And when we go back into the ship, the final planet Nur should be waiting for us to select,
Moving out.
which I believe we got it. If we didn't get it, we'll probably just, no, we got it. Just trust, we got it there.
So next.
So there we go. Select Nur, and we're off to the final planet without any force abilities, any upgrades to BD1, just completely from the first planet to the final planet, which is pretty insane. Going to interact with this terrarium because this interrupts the voice lines that Grease would normally be
Well, I've been a bit busy hauling you around the galaxy.
going through different dialogue before we land on a planet for the first time. I'm going to
When it's
skip.
out there, you betcha.
Oops.
But when it's behind a comfortably thick wall of embarring glass, that's perfection.
All right.
Yep.
I'll see if I can find any.
Split. Then
Time to land. Get up
split.
here.
All right. There we go. So we quit out of that little cutscene because it resets Cal's state as well as gets us out of that cutscene. We skipped Kashyyyk, which would give us the underwater rebreather. So Nur starts us underwater, and if we don't have the rebreather while we're underwater, this happens. So we're supposed to be in a little reef, and we are technically, but the camera is disjointed because it doesn't have a way to pull the camera below the water when we don't have the rebreather. So we're gonna have to go through this in a glitched way to clip out of the reef and make our way up and around the reef from out of bounds. I have a little setup I like to go for here. See if we can get the clip right through. We're right there. I think we got pushed through the wrong way, unfortunately. Yeah. A little bit of a tricky clip on console to get that first try, but not too big of a deal to retry it. Quit out, go back in. Just have to navigate through the reef again. I'll have to practice this. was a little worried about the PBL, but of course I get that first try when I'm practicing, doing practice runs and stuff. I forget what I put my estimate to. It might have been like 33 minutes, which I think we should easily be able to get within that. Plenty of time to do glitch showcase, which I'll need to get that submission ready to go. I need some files set up on PS5, which I don't think I have any files set up. Do 3 PVCs this time. Just kind of hold forward. Right there. There you go. Gotta look for that little jolt forward, flipping through the reef to know I made it. But we are out of bounds now. Cal's still getting pulled to the top of the water field here that we're in. There he is, making his way. But we have to make our way around the back here where we can get on top of the reef. Anyway, so now he's finally at the top, and we can get on top of the reef. And we're going to make our way on top of a invisible wall that will let us go along and on top of the Ner fortress here. Doing our best to chain that dash strike to get that fastest movement. Make sure I'm on story mode, we're good. We're actually passing over a lot of enemies that are below us, so we're in combat constantly and we can't train our dash strike non-stop. But we're going to try a skip right away here. A little bit to the side, but I think we should be close enough. Yep. That is the only loading trigger we can hit with the photo mode camera hitbox. So it's interesting that for some reason that works, but it allows us to skip the side part of the fortress there. Do some more pause buffer clips. And this is the final part of the game. This is the final arena where we would fight that second sister Trilla again. But with this being unrestricted, we don't actually have to fight her. We can actually just clip into the arena and then clip out. So that's what we're going to attempt to do here. Normally we need BD1 to unlock the door with his upgraded abilities, but we skipped all that, so I guess I'll sit down just for safety. Get a safety save here in case we have to redo the clips.
Can you slice this? Sorry about your scoffing.
But we got that one first try, so that's nice.
Standing up to that one. Pretty brave.
Trying to get him stuck so he kind of will eventually clip through on 30 FPS. There we go. Wait for that to load in there. We're going to switch back to 60. This third one's always a little bit tricky, but got it. Eventually we got it. All right.
Turbo lift.
Now we
Let's
have
go.
the final trick that's just a little nerve-wracking, but we got it okay there, and we're launching, getting on top of the final wall run that for the longest time we thought we were going to need wall run because of that final wall run section there, but one of the runners, Speed Idol, was able to find that skip. You just barely grab on the edge and then rotate around the side, and the slide shift happens, and it just kind of throws you on top of the wall. There's Mr. Vader coming after us. But luckily we escaped. But actually he's going to be waiting for us at the top, and once we confront him and stab him, that will be time. Pretty decent run, actually, for my first practice run coming back. Almost sub 30.
You read me? They're not responding. They will. Plan to search another.
Which is pretty decent for having to quit out, relaunch the game and whatnot. Pretty happy with that.
Did you get out of there now? Keep moving, Carl. Sorry.
And that's time. 30:15. Alright with that.
Surrender the holocron.
I'll never give it to you.
We shall see.
Gonna be plenty more opportunities to practice that. But already feeling pretty good about it. So.
Such hatred. You would have made an excellent inquisitor.
She's stronger than that.
Do-do-do-do-do.
No! No!
Strong with the dark side.
See her.
I can feel it inside of her.
See her. See her. Hey, listen to me.
Alright.
Still have a choice.
I think I will switch to Obi-Wan now. I'm debating doing the Outlaws run. I'll see how I'm feeling after the Obi-Wan run. But yeah, that was pretty solid Fallen Order run. I wonder if I didn't do the reboot of the game, I wonder what my time would have been. It was under my average, so that's cool. Yeah, my PB's 24:39. My best is 22:15. 741 Bronco's pretty solid. Can't remember what Speed Idol has on his Bronco. Might be like a 730 even. Alright. Anyway, let me switch over to Obi-Wan. Give me one moment. What up, Grimmy? I will definitely do Whiplash soon, I promise. I did get into GDQ though, so I'm gonna be practicing the game I just did a lot more, probably. But now to deal with the stuff more urgent stuff I'm doing tomorrow. Why not have a I remember what my layout was for this. Might have been that, yeah. That looks more like it. And my music's still coming through, but I think it's fine for Twitch. Just lower it a bit for the game. Could change the category as well. All right. Commit to a no reset just so I can make sure I'm keeping myself in that mindset for tomorrow. I thought about switching over to my CRT, but the quality on stream would be worse because I don't have all the necessary devices to make it look good for stream and for myself. Right now, I'm just going off of the capture device feed when I stream these retro games, which is the lag isn't too bad actually. It's still very much playable. A little slow. Did Spotify break? It's like a single tone. I don't know why that's doing that. I skip that.
You did well in escaping the lower sec.
Oops, I was late to my split there.
Oh, not good.
I'd like to incorporate the skip I had in mind for this level, but just haven't found the time to lab it out enough for it to be worth it. I'm not really sure exactly how much time it would save even, but
Sound the alarm! Intruder! I'll cover you! Sound the alarm! Intruder! I'll cover you!
pretty smooth there. We're cruising.
Loboska! Loboska! Die, scum! Ah! Mózga! Mózga da Jedi!
Defend yourself!
That's pretty good. Not amazing. I'm comparing against best segments. I should be at PB. There we go. There we go. Do, 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 do. Should be doing commentary, huh? Okay, so we were doing those first couple missions were investigating the Black Heft criminal organization. And we're still kind of investigating what they're up to. Um, we helped save the informant there, and they told us about stuff that was going on, a little arms deal thing. So that's what we're interrupting here. I'm going to go for a skip here. I'm going to focus on my timing here. Guess that was too early. Just barely too early on that. That's my fault, but we can just do the normal intended fighting all the enemies. Not a big deal. But yeah, you can already see we're losing time to that because the transport's scripted to leave after a certain amount of time, and if the character is a certain distance away, the timing a jump perfectly, we're able to get on the transport as it leaves and then ride it across that gap, not having to wait for the drawbridge to come down.
Don't let him get away.
So it saves about 40 seconds or so. That's all right. So we intercepted the arms deal and learned about the Jinha. Uh, they are doing some fishy things.
Yes.
We find out they're doing some weird things. Plo Koon and someone else, I think, are going to investigate that, and we hear that their ship crashed in the swamp here. Yeah, Ethkoth, that's who it was. Plo Koon and Ethkoth. They get lost. So Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan have to go figure out where they're at, what happened. And that's going to lead us to the next section, the mines, the Cortosis mines. As far as I know, a lot of these story elements and enemies and things like that are only made for this game and are now considered like Legends material, but still kind of an interesting plot to loop into the events of episode 1.
Snipers.
Trying our movement here, um, we time a forward press of the left stick during our mid-air rolling flip. We get this boosted momentum to carry us at a decent speed, a little bit faster than
Hurry up, we have
it
to
would be
find
if we
that
were
ship.
just bunny hopping or rolling. But it depends on you getting the inputs correct. Because if you mess it up, you're just jumping straight up, and that's not going to be faster at all.
Don't let him get away.
All right, so that was the swamp. Now we're heading to the mines of Oberdan. Jinha are synthesizing cortosis, and they're able to make materials, weapons, armor that's resistant to Jedi sabers. So the council ain't down with that. We're going to try that movement as much as we can throughout different sections. There's some sections where it doesn't make sense to go for it because the ceiling's like too low and you're just bonking nonstop. It is useful in this section usually because the higher ceiling and even on the lower ceiling sections it's slanted, so we kind of get our momentum thrown for us. I made that look pretty easy there. Yeah, we almost died still, but your fall damage is pretty significant if you fall too far.
More bravado than intelligence.
But I remember when I was first playing the game casually a little bit and learning the route, that section in particular, I was dying quite a bit trying to find how to fall, where to fall and stuff. And that momentum jump also helps us in little skips like this to carry us across gaps. I don't have to do the swing for it to work, but it helps me kind of time when I should be holding forward. See there, I was holding it forward like as I was swinging, so it doesn't always work in that case. But as long as I'm doing a somersault as I land, I can continuously do that Jedi big jump. Now we're going to do what we call jump boosting or jump resetting, basically. So certain walls, if Obi-Wan is just gonna deal with these guys real quick. All right, not too bad. But having the saber out especially helps, and having it a wall next to the right side of Obi-Wan or behind him helps you reset your jump a lot and get over walls, and we'll do that a few times to do little skips here and there. We got to the cortosis that the Jinha has been mining and synthesizing. Ooh, nice. And now we need to escape. We're basically doing the same level just backwards, and then we'll have a fight at the end. Trying to do the momentum jumps up the slope because typically the fastest form of movement, so there we go. Get across these gaps, continue on. Pretty decent on our movement here. We're gonna grab this and kind of stand here, and hopefully an enemy walks in the path of the elevator. They do not. We can just wait for it to go all the way down, jump on it, and it'll go up. Sometimes the enemies will get underneath it, and if the elevator bonks the head of an enemy, it immediately starts going up early. So that's a little bit of mini time save for us. This is going to be a health pickup. It sounds just like the PS1 startup sound, which don't convince me it's not sampled from that. It has to be. It sounds so much like it. It's crazy. But that just lets us interact with that button, be invulnerable to damage while we do it, and now we have to deal with these final enemies. Game gets really laggy because there's so many enemies.
Need some help, Obi-Wan? Take the moment.
I'm gonna go get health. There's another infinite health over here. I'm just gonna grab that because it is nice to be safe here. If you die, you have to redo this whole fight. I'm just trying to make sure we get all the enemies that we need to. Alright, we got it. A little slow, but actually decently close to our gold there. So I'm happy with that. But as we were finishing out that final fight, we found out the Trade Federation was working with the Jinha, and have been designing a prototype assassin droid to help deal with the Jedi. But um, that was like the intro to lead up to the events of Episode 1. So now we're going to go into the first part of Episode 1. That, if you've seen the movie, you know how that goes with the room filling with gas and going through the hallways, trying to get to the Trade Federation guys. Do do do.
Defend yourself.
Press the Quickly, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, quickly. We must get to the bridge in the control sphere of this droid ship. We must
All right.
question the Viceroy and get to the bottom of this.
Try to do saber throws as much as we can because that deals with enemies very quickly. As long as you don't miss. But we're actually using the right stick to swing the saber, so it's a little awkward to get used to. Even me, who's been grinding runs of the game, I still find myself completely missing enemies sometimes, which can be a little annoying. Our health's pretty low, so I'm gonna grab both of the health here, health packs. I don't know what they are actually. They're like weird green orbs. They didn't try to make it look like something in Star Wars. I feel like they just kind of made an obscure symbol thing. Green orb pickup for health.
Obi-Wan, guard the door while I work on the lock. I've unlocked the door.
All right.
Let's go.
Pretty clean on that saber throw. The second one I did was not good. But we kind of have to go through a little maze of hallways here, destroy a console that controls the turrets in the hangar, and then we can continue on to the next section. I like to glitch hunt, so I was really hoping to find a skip for this level to just clip through the door on the second half in the hangar, but I couldn't find a way to clip through any walls, unfortunately. Might be a possible, but currently no way of doing that. So we have to go through the full first half of this level. Even if we could clip the door, I'm not sure that it would let us continue on to the next section. Part of me thinks it would just soft lock us or kill us. There are ways to get out of bounds in the game, and a lot of times if you're out of bounds, the game detects it and just straight up starts draining your health immediately and killing you.
Defend yourself. Let me see your ID. Alert. Surround the Jedi.
All right.
Send reinforcements.
Not doing too bad on this first bit. The game is lagging very badly though because there's so many enemies that we haven't dealt with. That makes it a little bit more obnoxious to go backtracking through this area because there's like 50 plus enemies running around trying to catch up to us. But we're not too far away from getting back to where we were. Sometimes I just get lost trying to remember if I took a right or a left. We gotta go right here. I'm kind of past it now that I've done several runs of it. But I still find myself occasionally going, wait, did I go left here or right here? I can't remember. Yeah, this is a level where the ceiling's low and kind of uneven, so it's not really worth trying to do the movement tech where we're carrying our momentum forward. Just hopping is plenty fast. Can do some of this too. Goofy saber swing jumps. Now we're in the hangar where our ship got destroyed. We can do our movement here now to try to speed it up a little bit. That's the first half. A low 6 minutes is pretty good. Sometimes I'll be here at 6:30, so sometimes you get stuck up on some enemies and slow you down a little bit. But yeah, some of these levels are a little bit longer, so we have to go through that
Let's go.
mid-level load screen.
Defend yourself.
We are now in a cargo loading and storage area. There must be a way out. It won't be long before they determine our location.
Surround the Jedi. Back off. I'm warning you.
Now we're going through the second section of the level, and we're eventually going to get on the transport like we do in the movie, and that has its own level as well.
Stay alert. I saw something. Did you hear something? Surround the Jedi. Waiting for orders.
I think that's the first instance of those enemies. They run at you and blow up.
Anyone else have a Jedi on screen?
They are not super fun to deal with on a later level where there's several of them trying to just kill you before you can get to the next checkpoint. Oops, we don't want to grab the phantom ledge there. Now we're going to be going up into the ventilation system.
Surround the Jedi.
There we go. Yeah, you can do the ledge cancels where I did on the very first level. It's kind of tricky to get the setup sometimes where you're basically just simultaneously doing drop and jump inputs with the force button pressed down. So you're doing your force jump while letting go of a ledge, which I don't think is intended to be possible. Definitely seems to be something that the devs didn't intend for you to be able to do. Because it allows us to do certain skips in some sections. But it's always nice for the little mini time save as well, where we can just kind of save time on climbing up ledges. Just jump up them real quick. Right now we have Qui-Gon behind us. He's a crucial part of this mission or level to if you remember in the movie he was trying to destroy the door to get to the separatist. But we have to wait for him to catch up to us in this next section, or the level will deload behind us and kill him, causing us to redo certain sections. We're going to deal with these three little waves, and then we're going to turn around. Hopefully he is right behind us. That part is a little bit RNG. But usually he doesn't get stuck on too many things, and we can... Yep, he's actually right behind us, so not too big of a deal. Likes to do a little serpentine on the first half of it, and then eventually he will fast walk a little more normally. Come on, buddy. Let's go, Qui-Gon. There you go. Alright, he should be close enough for us to keep going.
We must be near the bridge.
Alright, hopefully he keeps sticking to us here. Sometimes those enemies can get him to get stuck a little bit. And now we have the final little wave of enemies we have to deal with as Qui-Gon's trying to break into the door. See if we can do a good saber throw here. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can go back here and hopefully the enemies spawn here first. That's a little bit RNG, it seems. Yeah, it's not happening here, I guess.
Don't let him get away. Stay alert.
Yeah, very much RNG which hallway they're gonna start spawning in.
This may take a little longer.
Surround the Jedi.
Any other enemies there? Doesn't look like it.
Surround the Jedi.
It's working. Blast doors are melting away.
We got about 2 or 3 more little waves here, I think. I'm gonna start having those bomb robots to deal with. We have about 1 more, I think. Yeah.
Almost through. Just hold them off for a few more seconds.
Final wave here. There we go. Oh. I was wrong. 1 more wave. There we go. A little bit slower than my PB there, but still decent. Yeah, part of that is just the RNG of that final fight. Sometimes they all spawn in the same hallway, or you'll get like 3 or 4 waves in the same hallway, and you're just able to stand at the door. And other times you have to backtrack a few times to catch up to them. Now we got in the stowaway and the transport. Funny enough, we don't actually ever see Jar Jar in this game.
Defend yourself.
Jar Jar is mentioned, but yeah, we never actually see him. Even in the sections where he's definitely supposed to be with us, he just won't be there.
Yes, Master. I'll get there as soon as I am able. Surround the Jedi. Don't let him get away. Did you hear something? There are more battle droids here.
Don't roll backwards.
Yes, Master. Surround the Jedi. Don't let me destroy you.
I think our health should be okay. I'm just gonna grab this. We'll have one more at the end of this hallway.
I see it, Master. I shut down the engines.
Warning, turbine engines have been powered down. Turbine control, come in.
Okay. They're gonna be stuck there, I guess.
Investigate turbine control malfunction and report in.
Got some decent saber throws here.
Get him.
I'm not sure.
But doing that little puzzle ends up being slightly faster than going. I don't know how much faster it is exactly, but it's definitely faster than going the alternate route, where we'd end up down below there in the lower section. But we can just do those buttons, get the full health upgrade, and then jump down here, and still survive the fall. Right on, right on. Not too bad. We're cruising. Can still technically record if we are perfect. Get some golds here and there, maybe.
Stop, Jedi! Back off. I'm warning you.
Here comes the Jedi. Shoot the friend.
All right, that was pretty clean there.
Get him.
Was a little bit risky, but I wanted to kind of YOLO it slightly. There we go. That was a nice little skip. Forget who found that. It might have been Lammy. A lot of the routing in this game, I just followed from the record, which was by Lammy for 10 years. I was finally able to grind out some runs and beat that time to get the record, but I don't know if I would have been able to do it without some of my own skips and strats that I found. Thought that just saved a little bit of extra time compared to what his route did. Ooh. Thought I might have been able to make it there. We're just gonna go down into the water. Pretty good there. Actually, looks like a gold. Very nice. We like golds.
Defend yourself.
So now we're just kind of going through the events of episode 1 with a little bit of
Obi-Wan, is everything okay?
filling in the blanks kind of thing that the game devs decided to change up.
To get to the throne room. It's up to you, Padawan.
I won't let you down. I'll contact you once I get to the throne room.
Try to kill some enemies here.
Back off. I'm warning you.
That should be good enough for these final 3 to... Alright, that's all of them. Yes. Always a little bit scared that there's one remaining, because one shot will kill the queen there. It's technically Padme, but she's still in her handmaiden's like outfit or whatever, in disguise as the decoy. Decoy's the queen still or whatever. Alright, let's try not to take too much damage. Is that everyone? Well, these guys are stuck. Never seen those guys get stuck right there.
Follow me. I can open the door for you.
Might have been because I did a force jump over them. I don't normally do that.
The door is unlocked.
I found that changing up like almost anything that I do can sometimes just completely change the behavior of some enemies. There we go.
Follow me. I can open the door for you.
All right. Alright, we should be okay. I'm just gonna beeline it over to the Padme here and Defender. Sniper's a little bit scary though every time because feels like he can just barely miss me and hit her. Make sure I'm staying right in front of the shots.
Just a few more seconds.
Please hurry.
Let's go, Obi-Wan.
Alright. Always a little sketch because you're not sure if you're gonna get hit. The checkpoints are not very generous in this game, so it's very possible to lose minutes with one RNG like curveball.
Do what you're told. What's that noise?
Defend yourself.
Surround the Jedi. Move back.
Alright, we're gonna pull out our grenades because those are really good at stunning enemies for us to just kind of deal with them while they stand there and
Door is unlocked.
take our saber hits.
Surround the Jedi. Send reinforcements.
Follow me.
Alright, that was fairly smooth. Gonna have a couple more assassin droids here to deal with.
Terminate.
Follow me.
Fairly quick there.
Door for you.
Gonna grab this health and then we're ready for the final little fight here, which is gonna have 3 assassin droids. So we can actually switch to our grenades, get those ready to pull out. But we're going
Beyond these
to
doors is the throne room. Let's hope
keep
the
doing
Amidala
those
is still here.
takedowns with our max force ready to go.
The door is unlocked.
But I can't let this this soldier here die, so I have to make sure I stand in the right
You've arrived
spot.
too late. She was just taken by the Trade Federation droids.
Otherwise, he
I'll
gets
leave you
too
to
close to the center of the
it. Oh,
room.
no! Look out! Help! Over here!
Go ahead and take out that guy. Pull out. There we go. That's really convenient to be able to just pull out the saber as they're stunned like that and just hit them, take them out. But yeah, it seems like the jumping overhead slashes are still the most efficient way of dealing with a lot of bosses and arenas and enemies like that. So it's seems to be the best way. Sometimes I'll find myself trying different methods of fighting and it just never works out. So yeah, the queen got captured, so we are heading to rescue her. Okay, please grab the ledge. Why aren't you grabbing the ledge? I think I might have got a checkpoint there. I can't remember. Can't remember how that works there. I'm for sure I'd be able to grab the ledge there, even if I'm swimming next to that waterfall, but let's see. where it puts us. Yeah, see, messing up that momentum jump just kind of threw a wrench in my my level here. Sometimes the game lags a little bit, and that's what I blame for the strat not working. Okay. That's two bad jumps on my part. I'll take the L on that. I think that might have given us a checkpoint though, maybe. I know like I've done a bad jump there before and it put me on that platform, but I might just have to be like high enough up for that. Yeah, there we go. Now we're up here. Don't have to do that starting bit again. Okay, let's not fall anymore, please. I'm gonna try our momentum jumps here and there. Speed up this first part of this level. Already lost a decent amount of time from falling twice. Okay. Can't jump up that, Obi-Wan.
Defend yourself.
I think I remember Lammy hitting that with the saber throw, but I've never been able to do it. Yeah, first half at 3 minutes is not great, but we'll see if we can get our next strat to work properly for us. Health isn't quite where I want it to be, but we should be fine. Charge that grenade throw a little bit too long, so
Those droids were.
all right. Oops. Get this health. Okay, thankfully Qui-Gon kind of ignores that enemy. Sometimes there's a straggler enemy that will shoot at us, but as long as the immediately close droids are all destroyed, as well as the two assassin droids, we're usually good.
Follow me, Obi-Wan.
And now we
Here's
have the
plan.
final part
Wait for my
here.
command. There's a convenient bottleneck here. The Federation escort will have to pass this way. Put away your saber for now. The noise
Yeah,
will
this is
attract too much attention. We're
the
outnumbered.
spot where
Droids
Jar Jar
have
would be
weakness.
with
They
us.
don't adapt well to new
He'd fall
situations.
down
We
with
can
us
use a classic
to
Prince
help
tactic,
save the Queen.
attacking from the front and rear to confuse them. I'll mount a direct assault from the
Yeah,
front.
he's just not
You
here.
protect the Queen and attack their flank.
Based devs that didn't like Jar Jar, and we're like, we're not putting him in our game. We'll mention him in the mission synopsis, but not actually put him in.
Hurry, Obi-Wan.
Back off. I'm warning you.
Okay, can get my my force, infinite force here. All right. Wasn't great, especially because we died twice or whatever, but surprisingly, not crazy far behind PB. 'Cause we died twice or whatever, but surprisingly not crazy far behind PB. 'Cause we died twice or whatever, but surprisingly not crazy far behind PB. 'Cause we died twice or whatever, but surprisingly not crazy far behind PB. best possible time says we could be 10 seconds behind record time, which would be pretty solid for a practice run. Oh, that was a little scary. Yeah, the queen actually gets kidnapped again while we're on Tatooine. Since Obi-Wan's kind of a side character in Episode 1, during the events of Tatooine, he's just kind of chilling on the ship or whatever. This is what they decide to have him do for his mission while the fun pod racing and stuff is going on. The decoy queen gets kidnapped by Tusken Raiders. We have to go through the canyon here to reach the chief and fight him in a boss fight. We're gonna try our movement tech as much as we can because this is probably the longest stretching mission. The betrayal's pretty long as well, but this one feels like you just have to do this movement tech a lot. Come on. There we go. Yeah, we're actually on the final, like, 4 levels, I believe. Try not to get shot midair. Getting shot midair, like, actually throws you off course pretty good, and you can fall pretty easily. Falling in this game is just straight up death. Gotta go back to the previous checkpoint. I always cut that corner a little bit too short, and he gets stuck crouch walking for a little bit. Loses me a few seconds, probably.
This looks to me like
Yeah, we got
some
the
sort
second
of
half
peaceful
here.
tomb.
And we got to make our way to the Tusken chief to fight the chief in order to get the queen back. We're gonna do a little skip here. We're normally supposed to go straight there to the left and kind of weave through some hallways and stairs, but if we angle ourselves just right. Wasn't quite the angle I want, but I think we can save it. Oh, I had it. Damn. There we go. I can actually get this health just so I don't die. Try get okay, get up there, Obi-Wan. A little bit of time lost there for sure, but we're still all right. Wish there was a fast way to do movement when you're going down a down a hill. Down a hill, like, doesn't seem to work nearly as well. There's a certain distance you fall before the game's like, okay, let's reset whatever shenanigans you're doing there. Yeah, not great. Well, like 40 seconds lower than normal there. But now we are fighting the Tuscan Chief. We're gonna see if we can get this fight done. That was fairly clean. Don't want you. All right, nice. Luckily, when he's on fire, he also takes damage, so that wasn't my best, but still fairly decent compared to how it normally goes in runs. But yeah, he does a lot of damage to you. If you get taken a couple hits and you're on fire, then you're in trouble.
Padawan, concentrate. Where is your mind?
A little slow there. Unfortunately, he did a lot of rolls and pushed us. A lot of little things like strafing and rolling has us lose our targeting on him, and it's harder to do those overhead slashes. All right, we're gonna see if we can do this skip cleanly here. There we go. Pretty clean there. Oops. Yeah, having your saber out definitely helps with those jump resets. There we go. Got a ledge cancel as well. Is it faster even when I had to retry it again? I don't know. Probably not, but we gotta show it off. Gotta go for the swag. There used to be a really impressive skip here. What Silent Lammy did on his run, where he did a jump reset over that force barrier out of bounds. But you could actually just destroy it with a strong attack in that corner. That makes it really easy to deal with that section. But hopefully we don't take too much damage here. Alright, we're good there. We gotta go to the right a bit. We picked up sniper. We have to be accurate still, actually. I thought it was a little bit more lenient, but gotta be kind of dead on still. Alright, that was decent. Try to focus on this jump here. Alright, that was decent. That platforming is a lot harder than it looks. Very easy to fall off there, and you could take the really slow route of ledge shimmying along, but
Thank you, Jedi. You've got to help us get back to the Resistance fighters.
we're able to
Follow
get
you.
through
We're
it
gonna hang
with
back
some
until the
crafty
coast is
jumps. Yo, Aaron, what's good? Stay right here, wait for the door to close.
Defend yourself.
The area ahead is still occupied by droids.
Right.
Squad leader, I've cleaned out all of the enemies in the next sector.
Excellent, Obi-Wan. We're gonna move along now.
Get this health, as well as another one later here in a second. We're gonna beeline it to these grenades, though. Do-do-do. Alright. We're cruising.
We'll wait here until it's cleared.
Not too bad. How you doing, Aaron? A little stoked because I got Jedi Fallen Order into SGDQ, so that'll be fun to show off in July. Did a little practice run before this game, but tomorrow I'm doing this game for the Kessel Run Marathon, so that'll be cool. See if that goes smoothly.
Back off. I'm warning you. Squad leader, all battle droids in the next sector
All right.
have been removed.
Good job,
Do-do-do.
Obi-Wan. We're moving ahead to the next courtyard.
Alright, see if we can get these grenade throws decently. I can never angle it quite right because it's like a charge throw.
The area ahead is still occupied by droids.
Alright, we
Squad
got it.
leader, I've cleared the way to the Resistance. Now's your chance to escape.
Love watching them. Yeah, it's always a pretty cool event, especially if you can get into it.
Squad leader Naboo 1 requesting access to the south entrance.
Yeah, live audience for sure. Yeah, I did one last year's SGDQ. I did Jedi Survivor, so it's cool they accepted this one to have me back for the first game. Ooh, that was a gold. Nice. Did not think I was on top of that level, but I did the platforming fairly fast, I guess, so that helped me out. Doing good too. Nice, nice. Oops.
Surround the Jedi. Stop Jedi.
Send reinforcements.
Surround the Jedi.
All right.
You hear something?
Shoot to kill. I'm not sure.
Always worried about that droid, like, basically killing me. Alright, we're doing alright.
Anyone else have a Jedi on screen?
Back off. I'm warning you. Surround the Jedi. Shoot.
course. Oh god. Try not to, oh god, I'm in trouble. Alright, we're gonna get the health for safety for sure. Alright. Yeah, I was pretty nervous for that was my first time being at a live GDQ event, so the first 5 minutes or so I make some mistakes, but after that I lock in and the rest of the run's pretty decent.
I'm not sure. Back off. I'm warning you.
Do-do-do.
Surround the Jedi. Let me see your ID.
I'm not sure.
Come on. The momentum was not carried. There we go. Whoa, I got shot mid-jump. We can save it by climbing right at the edge here. We're good. Normally it won't let you climb that ledge. Okay, that was a little sloppy at the end, but we're alright. We didn't die. Always the main goal is not to die in this game on a level because you lose so much time when you die. Which is basically why I'm 2 minutes behind, is because I died twice on one level. I played Star Wars Jedi Survivor at SGDQ 2025.
Hurry, Obi-Wan.
Now I'm going to be doing the first game. So pretty excited. I always submit like multiple games, but this is the first year I actually submitted like five games.
Another shield is dropped. Cut the power to that door. Another shield is dropped. Cut the power to that door.
There we go. I'm going to make sure I get that full health.
Another shield is dropped. Cut the power
Yeah,
to that door.
that's me. Yeah, I don't typically do a webcam I don't even have a camera. Like I could use my phone, like through a Wi-Fi thing, but I don't really use a camera typically. Do. Another gold. I didn't think we could keep getting golds on that level, but if you're destroying those barriers, like the frame that they're popping up, you can still save time, I guess, technically. All right, so we can one cycle mall here.
Master, no!
I think I've only ever gotten that once in a run before. That was my 55 second split there.
I hope you are more challenging than your master. I'm somewhat disappointed in him.
Ooh, nice. That was the one cycle mall. Very nice. Wasn't a gold, but it was pretty close. 114 is pretty solid. That's actually 10 seconds off the previous record. The previous record by Lammy was 114.18.
His future is clouded, but I will guide his destiny. I will raise him to be the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. I promise you.
All right, thanks for hanging out for a bit, Aaron. I might be ending here pretty soon too, so maybe I'll do a little bit of Outlaws, because that's another game I'm doing tomorrow for the Castle Run. Yeah, thanks for hanging out for a bit. Have a good night. Or day. I don't know where you're at in the world. There's always everyone that hops in is like from a different country or a different part of the country that I'm in, so have a good whatever. Whatever time of day it is for you. Yeah, that's how streaming be.
Choose the Force. Choose.
All right. Central America, gotcha. That's 9:30 for me, so I'm West Coast, U.S. All right, let's. I'm not too worried about Outlaws, so I think I'll end it there actually. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm trying to stream more, trying to make videos, but that's a little slower because I'm figuring out how to edit videos again. Yeah, I think that'll be it. Looks so dope. Let's go here and yeah. Have a good one. Peace.